Nerevar, I have discovered the source of the gnomes, at last. In the bowels of Dagoth Ur, the volcano, there evidently exists a parallel society of stuffed gnomes. I took a wrong step in the newly renovated heart chamber and fell through the roof into them, and they weren't able to do the Toy Story thing and stop moving before I saw them. Knowing the jig was up, they jumped me and started biting me with their tiny, horrible teeth. I have fairly thick and leathery skin, though, on account of the shirtlessness and the constant ash storms of Red Mountain, so they were having trouble piercing the skin. I was unable to use magic. The gnomes were so thick around me that I didn't have room to do the song and dance to cast. Thinking quickly, I grabbed a nearby Dwemer tube and began swinging it at them, sending swarms of gnomes flying into the lava below. I was like a gnome Sauron, Nerevar, Gnomerune's Dagon. They fell before me like salt rice before a particularly hungry Ailit. Thousands of tiny bearded demons perished at my hands. I was fighting them for hours, bashing and stomping until it was done. As I made my way through the gnome tunnels, ripping apart every gnome I could find, one of them stuck me in the side with a bolt. They had set up defensive gnome-scale ballistas. Enraged, I returned fire with a dwarven crossbow. I made my way deeper and deeper. Eventually, I discovered something. A tiny heart chamber, a near replica of my own, before the renovations. They had the heart of Gnome Khan, and were constructing a tiny gnome Kulakan in there, roughly the same height as me. I saw Gnomegoth Ur, just as shirtless but much smaller. He jumped into Gnome Kulakan and came to face me. Their machine was roughly the height of Fargoth, and just as pathetic. They had been constructing it out of inferior and tiny materials, and while it did shoot a beam out of its hand that unmade an entire species of weevil, I was easily able to beat the fuck out of it and throw it into the lava. I claimed the heart of Gnome Khan as a prize, and it is currently sitting on my desk next to my little drinking guar and strange swingy ball thing. I haven't seen any gnomes since then, so either I managed to kill all of them, or they have been cowed into worshipping me. I took Gnome Kulakan's hat as a trophy as well, and I'm going to continue wearing it for a few more months just to assert my dominance over any gnomes that might still be alive. Anyway, now that the gnomes are gone, want to come over? I had an entertainment system installed during the renovations. It was a heavily outdated one, though, only has a PS3. But I think after more than a decade, the PS3 finally has games.